Hello everyone, myself Dr. Komal Saraf, and today I will be talking about circulatory system. Now, circulatory system is such a topic which is coming in 6th standard, which again comes in 8th standard, and which is again repeated in 10th standard. So I've chosen this topic and I've only taken those parts which are not taught in the lower standards. So this is those parts which are only there in 10th standard, the extra parts which are not taught in the lower standards, that is what we are going to see today. So there are 4 functions or applications of the circulatory system. Firstly, it is going to help your digestive system to distribute the digested food to all parts of the body. So blood is going to circulate and take the digestive nutrients to all parts of the body. Second, it is going to help the respiratory system to transport oxygen to all parts of the body. So the food which was distributed first, then the oxygen together are going to come together, do the oxidation and give you energy. So the ATP molecules are produced after these 2 organ systems are going to act in our body. The third system is your excretory system, and the excretory system is going to help in eliminating the nitrogenous waste products like urea from our body in the form of urine. So if you remember, the blood is getting filtered in the kidneys to give you urine. So that is how it is helping the excretory system. And the last is the endocrine system. The endocrine system is going to produce hormones, and the hormones are going to be taken to the target organs again with the help of blood. So this is the way it is helping 4 other organ systems to function efficiently in our body. Next is our components of blood. Now there is when you centrifuge the blood. Now in lower standards we have studied centrifugation as a method of separation. Now if you take blood and you centrifuge at very high speed, what is going to happen? The different components of the blood are going to get settled down. So the heavier component being the erythrocytes, the red blood cells, they are going to form 45% and they will settle at the bottom. That is the packed cell volume or the hematocrit. Above that, we are having the WBCs, which are forming a buffy coat, and the lightest one, that is the liquid part of the blood, is going to be the plasma, which is 55% of the total blood. Now, plasma in turn will be made up of water, proteins, sugar, urea, and some amount of salts. Coming to the difference between blood plasma and blood serum. Now, plasma is the liquid cell-free part of the blood that has been treated with an anticoagulant. Now, heparin is an anticoagulant naturally present in our body. This is not given in the textbook, so we should remember heparin is the natural anticoagulant. Second is the serum, which is the liquid part again of the blood, but after the coagulation has taken place. That means all the blood clotting factors are going to be inside the clot, including the fibrinogen. So fibrinogen is a protein helping in the blood clotting that is also present inside the blood clot. So the liquid part which is left behind after the blood has clotted is called the serum. So serum is plasma minus the blood clotting factors like the fibrinogen. So hope this difference is clear for you. Next is the types of blood cells. We have 3 main types: the RBCs, the red blood cells, which are having biconcave shape. So you can see in identify picture study diagram, this is going to come. They will give you such diagrams like this or this. Either of the diagram can come for you to identify the RBCs. Then here you can see how the hemoglobin is carrying the oxygen molecules and distributing to all parts of the body. So hemoglobin is an iron containing protein, which is a red pigment giving the red color to the RBCs. So that is going to be doing the function of carrying the oxygen molecules and distributing it to all parts of our body. Coming to the 2 conditions which can happen when there is excess of red blood cells and less of red blood cells. If there is too much RBCs, then the condition is called polycythemia. Now here poly means many. So when there is excess, the word poly is going to come. And opposite to that is when there is deficiency of the red blood cells, it is called erythropenia. Now, penia matlab kya? Pelia. So if you drink something, it is going to reduce. So that is going to help you remember erythropenia, where there is abnormal decrease in the red blood cells. Coming to the next one, the WBCs. They are of two main types, the granulocytes or the granular cells having small granules inside them. Now in identify, when they give you the diagram to identify the blood cell, the size of the granule is going to decide which type of blood cell it is. So neutrophils will have the smallest, then eosinophils will have bigger, and the basophil will have the biggest size of granules. And there are two WBCs which are not having any granules, which are called non-granular or agranulocytes, which are your lymphocytes and monocytes. Now, monocytes and lymphocytes are not having any granules. These you have to remember from the structure of the nucleus. So, identify based, this is very important to know the shapes of these cells. Now, what is the main function of WBC? Phagocytosis. Now, they are the soldiers of your body. So they are having the power to engulf the foreign material like your bacteria, toxins, any dead cells, and they are going to digest it with the proteolytic enzymes of your lysozymes or the lysosomes, which we have studied in your first chapter, cell chapter. Those are the cell organelles present in the WBCs which are helping in phagocytosis. Now, the neutrophil has a power to phagocytose 5 to 20 bacteria before it is itself dying. So those your pus, the white fluid which comes out from your wounds, is made up of dead WBCs. Along with that, the destroyed bacteria are present. Now this diagram is showing you the four main symptoms which are experienced when inflammation takes place in your body. Now inflammation is characterized by pain, swelling will be seen, there will be warmth. So that body part will be warmer because there is constant new cell division taking place to heal that part of the body, and there will be redness also observed in the body. So whenever inflammation will happen, you have to remember these four things are going to take place. Now the last type of blood cell is your platelets. The sentence which gets missed out by most of the students is, how are they formed? Now these are going to be formed in the bone marrow, but from which cells? Megakaryocytes. So this sentence is very important. And here in the diagram, you can see one red blood cell with a WBC and the yellowish greenish color, that is your platelets. Now they are having the main function of blood clotting. So that is easily and directly explained in the textbook. We will not go in detail of blood clotting. Now let's come to the heart diagram. The heart is a part or a structure which is located between the two lungs, and it is resting on the diaphragm. So this diagram is going to help you remember exact location of the heart. It is protected by the rib cage, as you can see. Now, the size of the heart is size of your fist. Roughly, they have given you the dimensions 9 by 12. Weight is 225 to 340. What is the heart made up of? It is made up of the cardiac muscles, which are your striated muscles, and they are multinucleated and branched amongst each other. So this is the cardiac muscles making your heart. Coming to the coverings of the heart is covered by membranes, which is called the pericardium. The inner one is called visceral and the outer one is called parietal. In between these two membranes, there is a fluid which is called the pericardial fluid. Now, this is going to protect you or your heart when you get mechanical shocks or injuries. It will also reduce friction because heart is a pumping organ. Now, here you can see how the blood is going to enter the auricles, that is the upper chambers, the right auricle and the left auricle, also called atrium, and it will go in the ventricles. From the ventricles, it is going to again go upwards and then go to different parts of the. Here we can see the four walls of the heart. So we have four chambers in the heart, two upper auricles, the receiving chambers, two lower chambers, which are the ventricles, which are the distributing chambers. Now, four valves are present. Now, what will be the function of valves? They will prevent the backflow of the blood. So, between the right atrium and right ventricle, we are having one valve called tricuspid valve. Then the second valve is the bicuspid or the mitral valve between the left auricle and the left ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is going to go upwards in the pulmonary trunk, And in between them, we are having the third valve, semilunar pulmonary valve. And the last one is your semilunar aortic valve, which is between your left ventricle and the aorta. Now, aorta is the largest artery of your body and it is going to distribute blood to all parts of the body. And what kind of blood it will distribute? It is going to distribute oxygenated blood, which it has got from the lungs, right? So always remember, A for arteries are going to take the blood, A for away from the heart, and the opposite one, that is the veins, which are shown in blue color in the textbook, they are going to get the blood towards the heart. So all the veins are going to carry the blood towards the heart. Now here we are having a top view of the four valves, tricuspid and bicuspid, the bigger ones, which are called the atrioventricular valves. And we are having the two semilunar valves. The shape of them is like a half moon. That is why they are called as semilunar valves. Now here you can see one more structure which is only seen in the 10th standard textbook, that is chordae tendineae. It has been explained here. Now chordae tendineae is going to be connecting or holding the valves in position. So your tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, they are held in position. These white fibers are going to be your chordae tendineae, which are interconnected to the ventricular walls with the help of papillary muscles. So papillary muscles are going to connect to the ventricular walls. Coming to the third type of blood vessel, which is your capillaries. Capillaries are narrow tube-like structure which is interconnecting the arteries and the veins. Now they are made up of a single layer which is called the endothelium, and the capillaries are the place where the blood is going to ooze out or leak out to form the tissue fluid which is surrounding the tissue cells, and it is going to further form the lymph, which will go in this green color tube which you can see. So green color area is your lymph vessels and the upper one is your blood vessels. So they are going to help in exchange of gases, nutrients, taking away the waste products. So this is how the blood is going to help in distributing the different substances in our body. Now coming to the blood vessels which are entering the heart and leaving the heart. So which are the blood vessels which are entering? You have the number 1, superior vena cava, and number 2, inferior vena cava. Both of them are the largest veins which are getting deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body and pouring it in the right atrium. All of them are going to pour in the right atrium. From there, the blood will go to the right ventricle and it is going to go in the pulmonary trunk, which will divide into two pulmonary arteries. One left pulmonary artery and second right pulmonary artery, which will go to the lungs. From the lungs, the blood is going to come back, and who will get it back? The pulmonary veins. So total we have 4 pulmonary veins. Now pulmonary word means lungs. So whenever a blood vessel is related to the lungs or connected to the lungs, pulmonary word is going to come. So the blood which is coming back to the heart is got by pulmonary veins. We have 4, 2 from the left and 2 from the right. All the 4 are going to open in the left atrium. All the 4 are opening in the left atrium. From there, they will go to the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle, they will again go upwards in the aorta, from where it is distributed to all parts of the body. So oxygenated blood is coming in the left side of the heart and deoxygenated is coming in the right side of the heart, and they will never mix because of the central septum, which is dividing the right and the left side of the heart. And all the valves are going to make sure there is no backflow of the blood. The blood which goes forward should not come back. Now, if heart is giving blood to all the body parts, तो heart को blood कौन देगा? Who is going to give blood to heart itself? Now, heart is made up of cardiac muscles. Those muscles will need some energy to work. From where are they getting that energy and from where are they getting the blood? So they are going to get oxygen and blood from the coronary arteries. So in the second diagram, you can see on the surface, the coronary arteries which are going to give blood to the heart muscles, and they will take away deoxygenated blood from the heart muscles. So we have coronary arteries and coronary veins giving blood to the heart itself. Now what is heart attack and how does it happen? Now if you see this diagram, in the first case it is shown coronary artery disease, where the plaque is building up in an artery. Plaque is building up in an artery. Now, plaque will be some fats. When we are eating a lot of fried food and extra, oily food from outside, it is going to start depositing and it will start forming a plaque-like layer surrounding the blood vessels. So when it is surrounding the coronary arteries, it is called the coronary artery disease. And this plaque formation is called as atherosclerosis. Now, this is not very good for us because the narrowing of the blood vessels is going to put more pressure on the heart. And eventually, we will start feeling chest pain. So, that chest pain is called as angina pectoris. And once that chest pain starts to develop, we have to immediately rush to the doctor because there are chances the plaque will crack and the blood clot is going to block your arteries. Now, if your coronary arteries get blocked, then it will lead to heart attack. The scientific name for heart attack is myocardial infarction. So we start with myocardial ischemia. Ischemia means when the blood flow has reduced in the heart muscles. Now, reduction of the blood supply is because plaque is developing surrounding the coronary arteries, which will develop the angina pectoris, the chest pain, and ultimately it can lead to the clot formation by breaking of the plaques. That is called the heart attack. So, hope you are clear with heart doesn't stop working or stop pumping when you get a heart attack. Heart muscles are not getting enough blood, and that is when you are going to get a heart attack. So there is a lot of difference between heart attack and cardiac arrest. Don't confuse yourself, please. Now here again I'm showing you how the blood is flowing through all the parts of your body, or how from the heart it is distributing to all parts and how it is coming back. So let us see this flow where the incoming blood is coming through the veins, that is superior and inferior vena cava, entering the right atrium through the tricuspid valve. From there, it is entering the right ventricle and taking a U-turn going upwards through the semilunar valves, pulmonary ones, and entering the pulmonary trunk. Then it will divide into the pulmonary arteries and they will be taking it to the lungs. From the lungs, pulmonary veins will get the oxygenated blood to the left atrium. Through the bicuspid valve, they will enter in the left ventricle, and from there through the aortic semilunar valve, they are going to enter in the aorta, which is the largest artery, distributing it to all the parts of the body. So this will help you easily remember the blood flow throughout our heart. Now, how does the heart beat and what are the sounds produced? Now, there are two valves called atrioventricular valves, tricuspid and bicuspid. They are going to close and produce the first sound called lug. And we are having the two smaller valves, semilunar valves. When they will close, then the second sound, dub, is going to form. So, lub dub is the sound which is produced when the heart is going to beat. Now, in the second diagram here, you can see the nervous system which is conducting impulses and causing the heart to contract and relax continuously. So here you have the pacemaker, which is at the beginning. The first yellow circle is your pacemaker, which is the SAN, sinoatrial node, which is going to cause the auricles to contract first, then the ventricles, then all the four will relax, and then again the auricles contract, ventricles contract, and all the four will relax. So like that, the heart is going to continuously beat, and there is a rhythm which is set up. That is the loved up rhythm which we can hear. Here again you can see the SAN or the pacemaker, the AV node. So from the SA node, the impulse is going to the AV node. AV node is going to give it to the bundle of His, the Purkinje fibers, which are going to cause the ventricles to contract, and alternately it is going to function. Thank you very much. Hope you found this video useful.